Welcome to the Monster Hunter podcast show. It's episode 119 for the 5th of October, 2013. Yay! Welcome, everybody, to the Monster Hunter podcast show. I'm your host, Cthulhu, this week. Everyone else in the cast has been busy, and we've missed a couple weeks, so we thought we'd get a chance to grab some people together for Monster Hunter 4 and have a few hunts and talk about the game some. With me today is YouTube personality and Twitch streamer, iCEMANnoob.
Hello everybody, this is Iceman, and I may have had my wisdom teeth out, but I'm still SMRT.
Yay! Smart. And with us as well is Raikou, one of our mutual friends who has helped us out with a lot of translation stuff recently. So, say hello, Raikou!
Hello everybody, this is Raikou, and I like to make faces.
Likes to make faces. Alright, and with that, I think we're off to hunt the first monster of the day, the Gara Ajara. This is the new event one.
I have life powders. I'm good.
Okay.
I don't have life powders, so I should be 50% good.
Which means you probably don't have
Well, I made the item set, and it had life powders in, so whether I actually have those is yet to be determined.
So yeah, this is the new, I believe it's this week's low rank event quest against a infected Gara.
Oh no.
So
Guys, where's my map?
Oh, he's on me.
I guess I picked the right side to start on.
Or the wrong one.
Oh, he's still on me. Mikey's got the perfect set for this as well.
So, how have you guys been liking Monster Hunter 4?
Loving it.
It's very weird to get used to at the start, but then once you realise, oh, I can do all those things I wanted to do for like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
It's just mind-blowing how much of like just jumping off of a small ledge can make a difference.
Yep.
Or in the case of us bug staff users, leaping all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've pretty much been sticking with the charge axe, and Raikou's been sticking with the bug staff, and it's like amazing to see like when you switch between one and the other.
Yep.
How different they really are.
Oh. Kicked me off, you jerks!
I'm stuck inside him. I can't get out.
That's the best part about the bug staff against this monster is like all of his attacks are centered around him circling you. And so you can just use it to get out of like all of his attacks all the time.
That's the one thing I've been saying to Raikou over and over again. It's just like he continuously mounts the monster like
there
all
we
the
are.
time, and it's just like a massive crutch.
Alright, I'm on top. I'm not on top.
You failed.
Well, somebody flinched in my
Yeah,
thing.
that's what happened when I got on him too.
That was not me.
I didn't even know that you had gotten on. Like, I had no idea it was that hard to tell.
Yeah, he's like the most difficult one to tell. Alright, now he's going to go in infected mode.
I'm stuck inside him.
Vault out.
Help! Help!
No.
You've got a vault move. Use it.
I'm infected already.
I was too curious.
Here we go. Ride the snake.
I just might leave him alone this time.
Oh, I may have messed up.
Don't tell what to do.
Don't you want his head broke? Oh, you jerk.
Did you get him?
No. He changed his thrash pattern considerably while he was infected.
Not fought an infected one of these yet, so...
Yeah, this is the first
full
one.
Force.
Wow, like an instant breaking his thing. So trying to get back on some topics. So obviously you've been focusing on Charge Axe, and Raikou's been doing Bug Staffs. So I guess we'll start with Iceman. What are you enjoying about the Charge Axe recently?
It's actually a very versatile weapon if you can sort of get the hang of it. Because the one thing that I noticed kind of straight away, and I was a bit unsure of, is if you're in sword and shield mode, it actually has like a built-in auto guard.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very weirded out that that's a part of the weapon, because I thought, I'd done something in the village, they give you the auto guard talisman and just equipped it. And yeah, it's very weird to be like attacking a monster and then just like instantly guarding out of nowhere.
Yeah. I'm up on him again.
Alright.
Getting used to like attacking a monster and building up the gauges, like the 5 vials, and then like forcing you to charge it.
Oh,
Can be a bit weird, but the moveset is very similar to Sword and Shield, so it's not too bad. The axe mode is very weird to get used to because it's even slower than like Switch axe mode.
Yeah, it seems to be slower, and then its range is quite a bit more horizontal than the other, and then Switch axe.
It's the equivalent of like axe mode, but if you imagine it was a great sword, like it's really, really slow, but if you can get the hits in, it's tremendously powerful.
Yeah.
But it's a very, very good weapon, but kind of interesting to get used to, at least.
Yeah, the big one I find with it is the KO file is just really powerful when you can
Some
get them
monsters
off.
seem to be atrociously resistant to it, though.
Yeah. But
it's got 2 files. It's like KO and Elemental.
yeah, those are the 2 that I've seen so far. I think if it follows the example of the Bug Staff, the Teostra one may end up with a slime file or something similar. And he's down. Whoa, that was quick.
It's only a low rank.
That's true.
And you're using the maxed out?
Oh no, this one's not maxed out yet. When it maxes out, it switches to the white one.
Ah, of course.
Yeah, Bug Staff is like one of the most incredibly difficult upgrade weapons.
I have been noticing that. It was fine for a while. Not anymore.
Speaking of Bug Staff, what do you think of it, Raikou?
It's a perfect fit for me. I've always been big on Sword and Shield and Longsword, which are 2 of the most, I would say, nimble weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And having that mobility is very, very nice.
Yeah.
Especially coupled with the extracts.
Mm-hmm.
The white, yellow, red, and green. Being able to change my attack pattern and get low-grade earplugs.
Yeah.
It's a lifesaver.
Yeah, that's kind of my big thing is like that utility. And then being able to, like, I really enjoy doing the ride mechanic, and so
Yeah.
being able to initiate that pretty much whenever I want is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
New ticket. I wonder what this grants. We will find out later.
Still no beak.
Yep. So off we go to fight Insect Bros.
Prepare to get shot and smashed by a tank.
Prepare for double.
I'm actually, like, really concerned about this because we're both in low-rank armor
They
and this
were
is a
hitting
high-rank
us
version.
so hard in low rank.
The big thing with them is with Bug Staff users, as soon as they combine, you want to start doing your leap attacks on the little one. Because he will basically instantly pop off if you get a couple good hits in.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the new weapons, in our little off time, Iceman was talking about the new limitations of the new weapons. What exactly were you talking about there, Iceman?
Well, the problem we've got is apparently there's only 10 charge axes in the entire game. I'm not sure about how many bug staffs there are, but it's just you don't have the options to make the weapons that you need. Like, you can pretty much never get the weakness of a monster until, you've done 5 or 6 quests after you've killed it, and you get to another monster and get that weapon. so you're very, very limited on what you can use. And me and Raikou were really struggling to at least make the first 1 or 2 weapons, just because there wasn't anything to make. And when we could upgrade them, all the materials were like, say if we were HR1, they would be HR2 stuff. They'd always be like massively far ahead of where we were, so we were, you know, using a very low grade gear, very limited in elements, and it was just a really bad time.
Yeah, it's like staff has the same issue, really. I mean, we're limited to, I think there's a fire, a sleep, a poison, and then the dragon one. And those are really your only elemental choices until you get high rank, the end of high rank, essentially, when you're taking down all of the elder dragons, which is where all of the other elements come from. And so you're really like, I mean, dragon is what I've been sticking with primarily, except for monsters occasionally with poison, or if it's a monster I've been having a lot of difficulty with, I'll go to the sleep staff to start sleep bombing them all the time. But, you know, you're really, as you said, limited to your choices of option. You know, you can't make an elemental set. You can't, you know, go through a status set, really. Whereas all the other weapon choices, you can. I mean, part of me, I think, is the reason they might have done it was to, you know, avoid people just using those weapons primarily. Which is what happened.
Enough, that's what me and Raikou did. It's like, I tried the bug stuff, I didn't like it, I went to the charge axe, and I was like, I love this.
Yeah. Because that's kind of what happened with Tri. You know, they introduced switch axe and longsword, and that was basically, you know, online to begin with. Those were basically the only weapons people were using. And it became really kind of frustrating at times to be like, yeah, come on, guys, use something besides these weapons. Because, you know, both of them can actually be, like, some of the most disruptive weapons in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And here, you know, like, the bug staff, when it's in its super combo mode, has a pretty good tendency to trip up. But not completely horrible. And the charge axe has the explosions all over the place, which, of course, present its own issues at times.
That's not really the biggest issue that I've found. It's just I really have to avoid using the upswing attack.
Yeah.
Because I've had it multiple times where, like, Raikou's been trying to mount the monster, and as he's been jumping up, I've upped on him accidentally.
You're just trying.
That's teamwork for you.
You're just trying to help him. All right, I'm on him.
But yeah, I think at least when they do 4G, because of course they will, they need to rebalance it in a way that it doesn't restrict you on using a weapon type, because there's nothing worse than wanting to use one and being pushed away from it because you don't have that choice of what to use.
Well, you know, if I think the same thing that happened with like 3U. You know, there was a very limited selection of switch axe and longsword in them. And then, you know, they opened it up quite a bit with 3G. So, hopefully we'll see more of the same. And I am going to probably get toasted. Oh, wow, I actually remembered cleansers. The items, like, I think, to me, the biggest, most awesome change was the item set box, or item sets. Not having to really worry about, hey, what do I have? I have a quest box now that's like, this is everything I will probably ever need on a quest.
It was absolutely amazing the fact that they added it in, but I mean, that's been in Frontier for who knows how many years.
Yeah.
And Frontier came out before Tri did, so I really don't understand why they haven't put it in until now. Because like you say, you spend 2 or 3 minutes every quest just, you know, do I have my potions? Do I have my antidotes? Do I have, you know...
Putting stuff away and gathering stuff out. And, yeah. So, moving on from weapons. You know, out of the, I think it's, 9 new monsters? What are your guys' favorite monsters?
Ooh.
I could go first.
I will probably go with Gararajara, the snake.
Mm-hmm.
I love how hard he is to fight. Because he's so unlike everything else that we have seen in console Monster Hunters.
Yeah, most definitely the most unique of the new monsters. There's nothing...
He's very much like Noriskyura the spider, in that he can move very quickly and cover large areas. But his movement pattern is so weird.
Yes. And like, the one thing I've always found funny with him is the fact that he always coils.
Yeah.
And so if you're ever in a state where you're like, oh, I'm low on health, you know you've got to get out of his coil. And sometimes, like, the thing you're trying to do the entire fight is just get out from his coils, which, for most weapons, is a real pain in the butt. And then, for us superior weapon users,
this could be it for me.
Oh no.
Oh.
I'm lifing.
Thank you.
So what about you, Iceman? What's your favorite monster?
Funnily enough, I'm sort of leaning towards these two, just because it's like... It's just such an unusual fight.
Yeah.
It's like trying to have to split them up. You know, when they combine, they become this, like, Megazord thing.
Yeah, when they're combined, it's like, you know, the big tank one doesn't really, his attack pattern doesn't really change much other than the fact that he'll jump. It's having that additional monster on top of him that can attack in any direction that really throws you for a loop a lot of times. Like, I've been, like, ready to go in for an attack, and all of a sudden the flying one will turn at me and just destroy me.
It's not the fact that they combine, it's the fact that when they combine they can move independently of each other, so it makes it just so difficult sometimes that, like, one can be facing one way and the other one can be facing the other way.
Yep.
So, like, everything is covered.
Yep.
Yeah, it always makes me think of a tank with a machine gun turret on top.
Yeah, I mean, it literally feels like you're fighting like a Tachikoma or something, you know, four-legged walking tank of doom and destruction. Even though I think Tachikoma's had 6, but, you know. I think for me... which one? I really like Zakubra, or I can never pronounce his name right. The land shark in the ice.
Oh, Zabo?
Yeah, he's just... I mean...
Yeah, I really liked him at first, too.
He always fits my idea of, like, what a land shark would do in D&D, you know, underground, charging you, coming up from below. And then he has the whole ice armor phase, and then you get to the surprise phase, and it's just... It's magic. It's what it is. Just magic.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, he's not as much of a shark as I thought he would be. He's essentially this game's version of Diablos, but still he's very... much land-based, unfortunately.
He's oddly easy to dodge when he does that drill upward attack from beneath.
Yep.
That's one of the weirdest things, is like you don't get the tremor, and unless he's literally right underneath you, even if you're like half a step away, it won't hit you. So that's slightly disappointing.
Oh, I'm being pinned.
Oh, that's happening to me too.
You both got pinned.
Help! Help!
No.
I'm not even going to bother to fight it. He can... I kind of want to see what he does.
I was in the animation, but I had no bar.
Let's see if we can get some breaks. I think we broke the head.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember what the subquest was.
I don't know.
That was another thing I did like with this one, is the return of the subquests.
Yeah. It's especially good if you disconnect while playing online with someone.
Yep. Oh man, I need to do this quest more. All those bug juices.
Yeah, me and Raikou have had quite the amount of disconnects, like 10 plus every time.
Wow, like when I've been doing it, I really haven't had any issues. So
it got to the fact that one time, like, we were fighting Zabo, the shark. Like, we had it in a trap, and Raikou was throwing a trank bomb, and he disconnected, and I didn't have any with me, so I had to continue the fight on my own.
Oh. I do like that
yes.
they have the straight down animation for drink bombs too. No longer have to worry about like
I love that.
throwing
Amazing.
things over.
Have you seen it as well? If you throw it and miss, it will still do that smoke bomb effect if it goes underneath them or around them.
Oh, nice.
So that's very, very nice.
Alright, let's fight Zabo!
Okay, gonna need some of that ice
It'd
resistance.
be stupid for him to be an HR6. He's not that difficult of a monster.
What would it be for ice then? Because the ice blight's going to destroy me. Is it still like meat and veg?
Yeah. So the food skills are the same as 3U. Completely. They like didn't change anything.
So is it fire? Is it fire, water, ice, thunder?
When you're eating?
Mm-hmm.
It changes depending on which ones you eat.
Second one, if you do the bottom meat and bottom fruit, the second one is ice. It'll be the four symbols, the star with the little dot in the upper left.
Let's go with this. Hopefully I get it right.
By the way, Cthulhu, which insect staff has fire on it?
Do
you know which one it's made from?
I think it's Raytheon parts. It's because basically the insect staffs and the charge axes follow the same monsters. So Iceman right now has got the Raytheon one, I believe it is, and then
how did I don't even have that available to make.
It might upgrade from one of them.
Maybe I just missed that branch off.
Yeah, or you may just not have gotten the one thing you needed to unlock it.
I was going to say, it's probably the chance you haven't gotten a certain part. I really, really, really don't understand why they still do it this way. Like, I think the way that they should do it is, once you've beaten a monster, it should show up all the things, so at least you know what you need to make them.
Yeah.
Because it's so frustrating.
Never mind. The fire one is from something else. The ones that we have access to at the beginning are a raw one, a poison one, a dragon one that awakens to water, and then the sleep one.
Yeah.
Oh, hot drinks.
Hot drinks.
I believe my set.
I remembered something.
I ran out of hot drinks.
Should probably bring some blight too.
Yep. See, I've got a set with like all the things that I need, other than it doesn't have hot and cold drinks.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm too poor to get those in a set.
That's a pretty decent point.
All right. And so off we are to fight the land shark. But yeah, I mean, so far, like, overall, for me, I think, in my opinion, Monster Hunter 4 has been, like, the best. A lot of people, like, thought, play 3G, 3U, and even try, or like, Freedom Unite was still better. We still like the second gen. This one, I have to say, is, like, for me, like, so far much improved over all the previous ones. And then so much of second gen and third gen are here anyways, and so we have like all of the monsters across basically all time now, and it feels like a really nice collection. Like, it feels like Monster Hunter Greatest Hits collection.
I think there's been so many improvements in this game that it's pretty much impossible to go back now at this point.
I actually went back the other night and did some hunts with Monster Hunter Sketch, and it felt really odd. Like, not having my item box, not having the verticality of the jumping mechanics, and the monsters just really made me sad. I was like...
Alright, I'm on.
It just didn't feel the same.
Like I say, it's all the little things, like being able to jump off stuff, and you know, like you say, the item box thing and having the cats instead of Cha-Cha and Kayamba.
Yeah.
I could actually go for Cha-Cha and Kayamba, I think.
Oh, you're in a minority.
I don't like cats.
That's alright. I think Shepard, in his Let's Play, actually named his cats Cha-Cha and Kayamba. So
that sounds appropriate.
I mean, one thing I do like with the cats in this one, though, is the customization of, like, your main cat's skills is so much easier than, you know, in Unite or Portable Third.
Yeah. I actually haven't done that at all.
Yeah, like having the option to have, you know, like right now I think my main cat set is set up to be bombs all the time. And it's pretty absurd, like how much bomb spam these guys do. Or then if you go for the route of like the all support cats, you know, they're dropping green shinies on the ground, which are mega first aid potions, like constantly, and so you can basically never run out of healing with that group set up, and it's just a lot of fun. Like, and then of course, right now I have the armor for the cats. One of them is an angel, one of them is death.
Oh,
so I think right now Fry is my angel and Shepard is my demon. So kind of appropriate, with their little hatreds of each other, rivalries.
So have you been finding the fact that there's like no true farm anymore? You just got to talk to that guy.
I mean, I don't mind it so much. I mean, the one thing I don't like is like to do all of the various stuff. I have to basically go between like 3 or 4 different areas. You know, go to the underground area, get your free pick axe most of the time. Go to the cat area and do your quest, or do it through your house. Go do your fishing. Then you have to go to the lady. It's all kind of strung across multiple areas now instead of consolidated. I think that's my biggest issue. I mean, the farm lady now I think is really nice because of some of the additions, like being able to farm dung bombs and
life powder materials,
screamers. Not having to go and sit there and grind on Jaggy for an hour for screamers is.
What about the fact that they've copy and pasted one of the areas for 2 maps? Like the volcano is the underground area.
That one. I think I would be. I don't mind it so much because I can tell that there was a story reason behind it. I may not be able to follow the story, but I understand that there's a story reason behind it. You know, you go to the village, obviously the wyverns there are like, we can't do anything because the forges are burnt out because the volcano is no longer active. And I think for, as weird as it sounds to me, that is almost a good enough reason, because there has been no story in Monster Hunter, and it's nice to see that they're taking into consideration that a little bit. But I wish they would have changed it up a little bit more, instead of literally just making, okay, this area is now hot.
Yeah. I think having the option of like that map, but you know, volcano or not, and having another map instead would have probably been the better idea, as opposed to like, this is now the volcano.
Yeah.
Because the volcano is supposed to be, you know, like you go there, that's the final area, that's where you get all the best gear.
Well, at the same time, they kind of rechanged that to be the Sky Island for this one. The floating mountain, which to me that zone alone is like very cool in concept for Monster Hunter. You know, we always think about, you know, as mystical as like the weapons and stuff are, you really didn't see anything like that fantastical any place. And then here's this, like, as much as the first time I saw it, I was thinking about the Avatar movie.
Yeah.
You know, it was still kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. This is kind of brings in some of that Oriental mysticism that you expect out of, you know, a medieval kind of empire type of situation. And so, I don't know, like, it's like, Yeah, no dedicated volcano zone, flying islands in the sky. I don't know. So hard to pick.
I don't know about you, but I thought the final village that you go to, the Wyverian one, was very reminiscent of the town from Portable Third.
Yeah. Well, you know, they were both like mountain villages, kind of situation. I did like the fact that, you know, you're going, the big giant door to the final encounters is right inside the village. Almost, you know, it's like you can see the path that goes right up to the place where you go to the floating island, and there's the door of doom
In the village?
Yeah,
I thought the door to it was at the beginning of Sky Island.
Well, it's the beginning of the Sky Island, but
or Sky Mountain.
Yeah, the bridge to Sky Mountain is right there in town, right to the right.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that just took you to the house.
When you leave for the quest,
guy.
the bridge. When you go to leave out to the right, up north is the shrine, but then the bridge to the starting area of Sky Mountain, the Sky Island is right there to the right.
Yeah, there's the guy with the pinwheels in the cave. You told him, it's like, oh, there's the final boss now, by the way.
Yep. Yeah, it's just, I mean, so much in this was so good. Like, it was one of those things where it's like having, like, I'm really looking forward to the Western, for a localization or even just mass translation of like all the story, because there is a lot of story this time around. Like,
it's pretty decent.
I mean, and then the cuts. Like, another thing that just kicks me is the cutscenes.
They transition so well.
Yeah,
but
like,
then they break it up. It's like as soon as it's about to transition into game, it's like 20 text boxes, and you're just like, it's like, why do you have to put so much effort into seamlessly transitioning it and then just instantly break it?
Yeah, I could definitely do with fewer text boxes during the conversations in general, but I've always felt that way about Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Oh man, I was doing like the worst part was like I went to do all the weapon arenas in HR1, and like every one you start, you've got like the 30 boxes of text explaining the weapons, which I think is amazing for, you know, a new player aspect. But when you're like, I just want to clear these quests to have everything cleared, it's like, no.
Well, not only that, I mean, the fact that this has got a digital manual on it, there's no need for that anyway.
I like having it.
Well, you know, as strange as that as much common sense as that makes, most people I know who have 3DSs aren't even really aware of the digital manual in like all the games. Like, my wife doesn't know that there's a digital manual on any of her games. And it's like,
well, you get a piece of paper saying like, here's a manual, but
yeah,
most people are just like, right, get the game cartridge in, put it in, boom.
Yeah. Right. So that was our scheduled stuff.
It's up to you if you want to do one more.
Yeah, we'll do one more.
It's going a lot quicker than you thought it was, I assume.
Yeah. Let's see. What other ones? Actually, what do I have for here? So let's go ahead and we'll probably do two more here. We'll do a Kieran, low rank Kieran in the Unknown Woods, real quick, because I want Kieran parts.
I have not done a Kieran yet.
So people can see kind of some of the changes for Kieran. And then the last one we'll do is we'll end with the flagship monster, because it's the only in-game Elder Dragon we haven't shown for the podcast. That will catch everyone up to all the new monsters. Yeah, I mean, it's just so weird to be playing like all of the old monsters that are back now in this one. They're all so different because of like some of this new terrain features they interact with, or like the one or two new moves they'll pick up, and it's kind of interesting. It feels really refreshing.
Yeah,
it's the fact that like even having just very short animations for like Kaku turning around and things like that, just like I'm like, whoop.
And then that was Rebel in the chat pointed out another thing before is the waving at the blimps is back.
Oh yeah,
which is always kind of a nice feature. And then so many, and like the drones are kind of scary now.
When I fought Gendrome for the first time, I was like, he is actually a legit threat now.
Yeah, like they're much more aggressive, they're much more responsive, and the packs of them are, the praise really
they
act like a pack
legitimately
now.
Work together.
Yeah, it's not just,
Oh.
I'm just going to grab a couple things here. Not going to be anything too spectacular.
Yeah. This is the low rank Kieran, so...
Yeah.
Didn't you say that, like, he can't just, like, walk into you and destroy you now?
Yeah, he's really not nearly as threatening.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that when you first fight him, he is low rank now.
Well, it's the fact that in Unite, he would just walk past you, and you would take massive damage.
Well, in Unite, he was also one of, like, the end-game monsters, I mean.
Right, but even in endgame gear, it wouldn't matter.
Well, that was the thing in Unite. Endgame gear really didn't make you more survivable against endgame monsters that much.
Oh, he's definitely
as crazy as that is.
Been redone.
One thing I don't like with like the Kieran and like the drones and Jag is how hard they are to get leap attacks on.
Yeah. Our advantage kind of goes away then.
And then we get messed up too, because like most of the time, like on these ones, like you'll only have a very tiny area to hit to get like one of the buffs.
Oh, that's new.
Yep. Like I was barely able to get the red one just now.
Yeah. Like I think the red one, the only place you can get it off is his horn.
Yep.
Plenty of places to get the armor.
Suicide.
Yep. But yeah, feels. I don't know, like, Unite, he didn't feel quite like, as much as he is a horse, Unite, I want to say he didn't really feel like a horse.
Yes.
To some extent. He felt more magical, more like a pure unicorn. This one, he acts like a horse more than anything else. There's not, in Unite, he had a lot of the teleport, whatnot. Here, doesn't have that, kind of just bounces around a lot, moves
He honestly
around.
didn't even feel like a proper boss to me.
Yeah.
Before, because it's sort of like, it was just essentially just a Kelby or a, whatever. And it was just like, oh, we get him Thunder. There you go, he just runs and jumps.
Oh, damn.
Stop it.
Yeah, he's not exactly, an easy monster. And it's not because like he does a lot of damage now. It's just he's so fast. Like a lot of
keep bouncing.
Yeah, and everything. Like I bounce with blue sharpness over like most of him.
I pretty much have to stand right in front of him if I don't want to bounce, and then he stabs me with the space.
Yeah, eventually we get like his main broken. He stops bouncing quite as much, but until that point. The main thing, I have a bug staff. I think it's my raw damage one that's actually built with the power bug, specifically for monsters that I bounce a lot on. Because the bug won't bounce, and you'll still be able to get decent damage off just by spamming them back and forth.
I also love with the charge axe as well that even if you block or even if you bounce, it still charges your gauges up.
Yeah. Or when you overcharge it and it starts bouncing all the time.
Oof.
That, I think, is like the one really bad thing about the charge axe.
It really forces you to use it in a certain way.
Yeah.
Which is kind of disappointing.
It's opposite to the charge axe. Sorry.
That was awesome. That's teamwork.
It's just, it forces you to be in axe mode like pretty much constantly.
Yep.
Which I'm okay with, because if people annoy me, I can just upstring them.
I hate that. They'll go near like a wall or something and you get bucked off right away.
Yep. There are a lot of things that can throw you out of it. If I get really annoyed with someone like hitting me over and over and knocking me over, I just shoot my pellet at them. Just like, yeah, what now?
More than once.
I just try and get in Golden Boy mode as much as possible just to avoid that.
Golden Boy mode.
I mean, you shift between white and orange, and you go Super Saiyan. I mean, Shepard refers to it as Super Saiyan mode, but I did like right before this came out. I did watch Eddie Murphy's Golden Child, so
I think I just knocked him over from being knocked over.
Nice.
We've had that a couple of times. It's like you knock them down and then you knock them out so they get up and then fall over again. I think we've only had it once, maybe twice, where we've mounted them, they've fallen over, and then the other person has mounted them again.
Yeah. And then different monsters have different tolerances to the mounting, like Becerra's and Gravios. Like, you can mount those guys like non-stop.
It's a good thing too, because I bounce constantly.
Not only that, you mount, is it Becerra's on his chest?
Yeah, after you
break the back.
Both of them. After you break their backs, when you mount, you'll ride their chests to break their chests.
I think it's 2 mounts to break the back, and then you break to the chest.
Yeah.
It's 3 carves now.
Yeah, he's like actually worth it.
Legit. You break his horn?
Probably not.
Yeah.
No, we did.
Looks like it.
Nice.
His happy face is like,
You might be able
This
to
move?
make his bug staff fairly quick. It doesn't take a whole lot of parts for his.
Yeah,
Raikou already has it.
I do. I made sure to get it pretty quickly. This one move is so disruptive.
Because you can push people and you can pull them towards you. So it's like, no matter where you are, you're going to get forced somewhere.
It's probably like 270 degrees of interruption.
I just like... One of my favorite things is vaulting and shooting. Be like... So I've avoided a number of monsters' attacks by like vaulting, and then all of a sudden they're coming at me. It's like, quick, shoot the gun! Get out of the way!
I suppose you could use it like if you try and mount a monster and you're like, nope, you can shoot the bug and push you back.
Yep. Or you could even... A lot of times when I'm messing around, I'll vault to my right and then shoot to my left, and then it extends out the vault quite a ways. All right, we got enough time for probably one more, so we'll do a Gora, probably a low rank Gora. I don't know if you guys want a high rank Gora yet.
You can probably take like one hit if we're at full health. Absolutely full health. I'm quite surprised we got all the way to... Well, we got Raikou's HR 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were still using like low rank weapons and armor. Wasn't too much of a
partially
problem.
high rank weapons.
Yeah. So it's tough, but it's not like impossible. You just gotta get good. So
I'll send you after my level 58 Gora.
level 100, I'll get out.
Making sure there's not. Okay, yeah, that'll be the one we do. And then, hopefully in another couple weeks, we'll move on to the final couple Elder Dragons that are new and show off some of the old ones. Tailorstra's kicking my ass right now. Oh,
I can imagine.
And then, like, the the alternates for Tigrexes have also been a pain in the butt.
Yes, I know they got the red one now.
Yeah, which is...
Apparently he's got some sort of weird thing going on that may or may not have been true. I don't really want to spoil it for myself, but...
It probably is. It's pretty bad.
Like find in the old tower, don't you?
Yeah, the Black Tigrex is pretty bad enough, and then you add in the extra stuff, and yeah.
It was kind of funny though. It's like, as Zama was saying that, like, I think Ivo as well, like in Freedom Unite, like the end game, like Tigrex and Basarios and Kirin ones were essentially the rare species they made in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so they had the armors, but they didn't make the monsters.
Like in the worst, probably in like the worst set possible for this, to be honest. Yeah,
well, it doesn't have an element, so...
Yeah. Except for the virus actually does dragon damage. It just doesn't do dragon blight. And so...
Interesting, did not know that.
Yeah. His blast will damage me quite a bit more, because the set actually has minus 16 dragon.
Uh-oh. Negative 25 dragon. I'm prepared.
Negative all dragon.
Yeah, just don't get hit by like the big blast he does. You'll be fine. Like going through like the puddles and whatnot aren't too bad. Those balls aren't too bad. But when he does that big massive like nuke in front of him,
yeah,
that is where you run into most of the problem.
All right, I'm on.
Hold on, let me see if I can give his tail the old chop. So how have you found this guy then? Because he's like probably one of the more unique bosses. It's like he changes from like an Elder Dragon type to like a pseudo Wyvern.
Yeah, like
it's very weird.
It's like during this part, it feels like you're fighting like a something like a Zenogre.
Yep.
Nothing too crazy. And then once he enrages, it feels like you're fighting Tigrex. Just constantly in your face, charging at you. Screw. And then like the story with him, I think is a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
I think this is probably one of the more unique monsters from they actually provide like a narrative for him, which makes makes him a more interesting monster overall, because you actually get to see some of the change.
Kind of interesting, he's got like a fake rage mode, I guess.
Yeah.
Mini rage.
Kinda put us off at the start. It's kind of interesting that he's got like horns that only appear when he's like properly enraged.
Yeah, and he will actually stay enraged until you manage to break them.
I wondered what made him go out of it, because sometimes he seems to have gone in it for like 2 or 3 minutes, and other times it was like 10 minutes.
Yep. You have to basically flinch his face or break his horns in order to break him out of it. The alternate version, of course, does not have that, because, well, it's a better version.
It's D for da best. Both something face and wings at once.
Oh, I always hate going out of my Super Saiyan Golden Boy mode.
Yeah.
I feel so weak afterwards. You're sitting there like doing all these power combos, and all of a sudden you're like, don't.
Why am I using this thing again?
And then I love the fact that like the environment darkens when he's in this mode.
It's one of my favorite parts.
It puts the Instagram filter on everything.
Have you guys seen his grapple yet?
No.
Oh, it's frightening.
Probably a high rank move then.
Yeah.
By grapple, do you mean like when he pins you?
He actually has a move when he's enraged. I'm pretty sure it's only when he's enraged, where he uses his winged claws to grab you.
Not seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I have.
It's rather scary.
I'm just trying to avoid being anywhere near him, even when I'm in the quest with him. So have you had much luck with the feral virus thing? Because it's like, it can both be a positive and a negative.
It's almost always been positive for me. There's only been a couple times where I've gotten the debuff. Which is kind of odd. Like, I expected the debuff to come into play a lot more. But, you know, a lot of it has the fact to deal with, you know, I've always tried to be semi-cautious, and I'll have, you know, nullberries around in case it starts getting too close to incubation. But
Yeah.
Okay. So you actually take a pretty active role in keeping that bar
yeah.
going.
Well, for the most part, I don't have, like, it's only happened a couple times when it's in quests, like, typically if I'm trying to solo him, this monster, or a monster with feral virus, it'll be more of an issue because it's hard to... A lot of times you have to dodge so many attacks that you can't get the time to get the damage in, to get the buff.
Yeah.
Raikou didn't even get his noob carve off.
I decided not to. I almost did.
Yeah, the fact that monsters stick around and their parts stick around for forever now is really nice.
Yeah, it was kind of a bit iffy on 3U. Like, sometimes the tails and things would disappear, and I'm not really sure why they did that. I still don't know why they make the minions and things disappear, like when you're carving, and then it'll say, like, you couldn't carve anything.
Yeah.
That bugs me to
no
no
end.
end.
Me out.
Shiny, shiny.
Where?
Hmm?
Give it.
Yes.
You got the same thing you always get,
A wyvern tear.
which is more tears.
Yep. More tears for everyone. Alright. Well, I think that will about do it.
Yeah, I've got about 56 minutes of recordings.
Yep. And so, I guess that will be it for now. Make sure to check us out on Teamworkcast.com, bing, where you can check out all of the latest Monster Hunter related videos and make hunting parties for all of the various Monster Hunter games as well as Soul Sacrifice. We recently added in Pixel Polish's streams of Soul Sacrifice, so people who are interested in checking that out can check it out. And let's see, what else do we got going on right now? Hopefully we'll get more videos up on Teamworkcast for various things. FTL series is currently going live, as well as Christian's Amnesia. Pigs. I can't.
Machine for
Pigs. Yes, man. Blanking out. Iceman, anything you've got coming up on your channels?
Not really. I've just been trying to live stream the single player of this, and then when I go online I do them as proper videos, and then me and Raikou have been doing tutorials of various things sort of as and when they come up, like how do you connect online, like how do you register a guild quest, you know, things like that. So if there's anything specific that people want, you know, just ask on the Facebook page, I guess, or maybe message me on YouTube. But it's basically like, if there's something that we find that we think other people might find useful, we just kind of do it. But it's just like the core, really, really important things we're focusing on for now. But other than that, it's just general Monster Hunter 4-ness.
Okay. And anything special for you, Raikou, or are you just using Iceman and being his little translation unit, so to speak?
On my end, I'm working on review for Disgaea D2
Yes.
that I should have posted shortly.
Really looking forward to that one next week.
If anybody wants to check it out, it should be up in a couple days on allrpg.com.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. And unfortunately, I'm not witty like Christian, so no funny ends this time, guys. I'm sorry. But make sure to check us out next week. Hopefully, we'll have another episode for Monster Hunter 4. Until then, good luck and good hunts. See ya!
See ya.
Goodbye.